From the top of the tower to the bleak wilderness of Dartmoor, join us as we uncover the most chilling ghost stories from the Haunted Isle. England has long enjoyed a most haunted legacy, and with a long and bloody history, it's hardly a surprise that almost every city, town and village all share an abundance of ghostly tales of specters and things that go bump in the night. From country houses, castles and prisons to the wilderness of the moors and beyond, you can find screaming skulls, haunted houses, headless spirits, and even a forest that echoes with the blood-curdling screams of the long dead. Join us as we explore 10 of the spookiest ghost stories and the dark history behind some of the most haunted places in England. 5. Village of Pluckley. Pluckley Village in Kent was awarded the Guinness Book of Records title of Most Haunted Village in Britain, and for good reason. Over 15 ghosts call Pluckley home. These include a highwayman killed during a sword fight, a schoolmaster found hanged by a group of children, and an old gypsy woman who burned to death in a fire who appears on the bridge casually smoking a pipe. There is also the specter of a horse-drawn carriage that rides through the village accompanied by the eerie sound of horses' hooves. Along with a haunted pub, brickworks and cemetery, just south of the village lies the Screaming Woods, also known as Pluckley Forest, from which villagers and visitors alike regularly hear the sound of the blood-curdling screams made by wandering souls of long-dead men and women who became lost in the forest. Four. The Ancient Ram Inn. This historical inn in Walton-under-Edge, Gloucestershire, is England's most haunted bed and breakfast, with 20 ghosts at the last estimate. The current owners of the Ancient Ram Inn were subject to spectral attacks as soon as they moved into the former pub. Upon investigation, they discovered that this Cotswolds cottage had been built upon a pagan burial ground in 1145. During a renovation, they even found daggers and small bones and theorized that it had been the site of child sacrifice. Among the ghosts at the Ancient Ram Inn are a wandering, murdered girl named Rose, a regal high priestess, and a Randy Mazak's demon. Despite some guests fleeing into the night after hearing children's screams or seeing floating furniture, the inn is currently inundated with ghost hunters and horror writers. Even the world's oldest paranormal research organization, the Ghost Club, visited in 2003, though they failed to produce evidence of the hauntings. 3. Dartmoor Hellhounds. The Dartmoor area of England has everything that a ghost hunter could ask for: fog-shrouded moorlands, vast swaths of windswept rock, and several ghastly spirits. Perhaps most terrifying are the Yeth or Yell hounds, so named for the inhuman wails they make while rambling through the area's woods. According to Devon folklore, these headless dogs are alternately the feral souls of unbaptized children or the half-made spirits of unborn ones. In either case, they are doomed to haunt the moors in packs and scream wildly while hunting for those foolish enough to venture outside after dark. Supposedly, their yells drive their prey mad, and if they catch you, you'll be dragged off never to be seen again. Most memorably, the Yeth hounds were the main inspiration for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles. 2. The Ghosts of Bodmin Jail. Bodmin Jail is a historic former prison built by prisoners of war in Cornwall on the edge of the nearby moor. Currently, it is home to a museum similar to the London dungeons for its gory displays of prisoners' offences and punishments. Before closing in 1927, the jail was the site of a naval prison, over 50 public executions, and For a time during World War II, a cache of national treasures. Many ghosts have been spotted at this defunct prison, including a wandering spectral woman, gaunt faces peering from cells, and a woman who attempts to drag children away in a section of the old lower floor. The most malevolent ghost at Bodmin Prison calls the dank dungeon home and is known to place its cold hand upon visitors' shoulders. One, Screaming Skull of Bettiscombe Manor. Bettiscombe Manor is home to the legend of a screaming skull. In the 19th century, John Frederick Pinney returned from Nevis with a faithful Jamaican slave who soon after passed away of tuberculosis. His only request was to have his body returned to his home country, but Pinney refused and buried the man in the cemetery at St. Stephen's Church. Afterwards, the village and Pinney were plagued with bad luck and spectral screams from the cemetery. The manor house was beset by rattling windows and slamming doors, such that Pinney brought the exhumed body into his home and refused to discard it. The body decayed, leaving only the skull to howl each time someone tried to remove it. Legend has it that if the skull is ever removed from Bettiscombe, the skull will resume its unearthly screaming and a dreadful fate will fall upon the house. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.